What's going on, guys? Bento over here, going to be doing a replay commentary on one of my Evolve games in beta. I am actually playing as Abe the Trapper, and he's probably has the best mustache in game, truth be told. I've actually played with Abe for a while, and I kind of like his gameplay over the other two trappers. For one, I think his stasis grenade is probably the best thing ever compared to Maggie's traps or Griffin's harpoon launcher. I like it a lot because it keeps you some distance between you and the monster, and especially it allows you to sort of stay away from him a lot. And like basically it just means that you don't have to worry about getting too close to the monster. In some cases, yes, but I like him also because of his tracking dart ability. I really like playing Val a lot because she has that trank dart that can also help like see where the monster is, and thankfully I'm actually playing with Val this game, and I think that both our slows are going to be really great against the I remember that both our slows are really good against the Goliath we played this game. And yeah, the monster is so far away, not enough to get him. What I usually like to do as the trapper is to actually try to circumvent the monster. Half the time, usually here I'm tracking the crap out of him too. That tracking dart is amazing, guys. I really like how it works because it's just I can keep on him. You can relentlessly track the monster wherever you go. The only real downside is if you lose track. It's if you don't have visual on the monster and you don't dart him enough, then you do in a sense lose like sight of him. But as I was saying before, as a trapper, you sort of want to like circumvent the monster, because half the time, at least with the games I've played online, is that whenever we're trying to catch the monster, we're circling around him. And as you can see here, I decided to go halfway, meet him halfway, and I managed to actually enclose him in the dome. And I'm quite happy I was able to do this because I was able to. The one risk though is that you slightly break off with the main group, and so you're sort of separated, and that sort of like poses a threat for you. In that case, you want to be careful of like environments. You want to be careful of the monster like actually finding where you are, and so it can be a little risky like that sometimes. But you want to circumvent to the point where at least that if you do get maybe pounced, or if you do get caught by some environment traps, you have the team to back you up just close enough to do that. And as you see here, I'm just pelting him with the the arc grenades, because those things are so good. They slow the monster down so much. And with Val tranking him right now, like it's just really hard for him to try and hit any of us. And I really like the support in this case, Hank. Especially for this game, I thought the player who played Hank right now was really good. He was really he knows that obviously the medic's going to be a prime choice, and so he has to shield him half the time. And so I also help by slowing that attack speed down, and therefore it's even harder for him to hit. And so yeah, I'm still just pelting him with the grenades. It just slows him so immensely. I mean, unfortunately, the monster's health and armor are still high up, but I mean, we didn't really take that much damage. I mean, Val's health right now is level half, but I mean, we can always recover anyway. So yeah, trying to go for the shots with the tracking dart, but unfortunately, well, some random shots could potentially get it at least. But you see how the flow of the hunter tries to follow the monster. Unfortunately, I lose track, and so in this case, I don't really want to circumvent just yet. Oh no, he's right here. What am I talking about? And thankfully I managed to get the arena on him too. It's really important as a trapper that you get the arena down as fast as possible as soon as you get sight of the monster. You do not want to have to keep running away while the monster gets his armor back and stuff, and like basically just having the advantage in that case. And again, you want to just like stay. I feel like the best thing to do is just to stay safe. Don't try to engage try to keep it. Well, in this particular team of hunters, I thought the combination of Hank Val and Abe is a little more defensive in this case because we have the shield and we have a good sustainability in terms of heal. Not to mention we have Abe's stasis grenades, and I luckily avoid that that one big hit. Abe's stasis grenades is just great because, again, I can stay away and not have to worry about the Goliath trying to get to me. And here we see Hank is literally, this is like a great Hank actually, helping out the medic. And again, like I said, that just being able to stay away from the monster and him focusing on other targets is better for me and better in terms of target like priority.
Anyone piss off any birds?
Also, I really love Abe's talking in this game. I think he was absolutely the funniest guy I've seen so far. Unfortunately, I feel like the jetpack sometimes does not work for me when I'm trying to scale walls on an empty when I'm empty on fuel. And conserving your jetpack is very, very important. You do not want to get caught off guard. You do not want to like suddenly fall into like a leviathan, which is the shittiest thing ever.
Hey, suck on that. On first aid.
Unfortunately, I think I was too far in this case for the dome, so I decided to wait it out a bit. Obviously, if you do think you have a good positioning on the monster, you do want to set that dome up as much as possible. But if you're sort of like iffy about it, I'd honestly just wait because I'd rather not have to wait for the cooldown on the dome, and that just takes a long time for that to come up. Whereas if I try to circumvent, and then like if I were to circumvent the monster again, which I'm doing here, at least I have that dome up and ready.
After them birds! Goliath!
Although thankfully we have Markov, which I think he has a good sustainability. He has good sustained assault damage. And here again, I try to go to circumvent the monster on the side. Again, a little risky because I'm caught all alone. So you really have to. If you do try this particular thing, you have to really worry about the environment. But see, it's really helpful because I can track the monster. I mean, Val did. It's good that Val and. Yeah, see, just being able to put up that dome. I think I'm a little too far in this case. Yeah, unfortunately he is out. But that tracking dart is just great because it just keeps on him. And I think as Abe, pretty much all you want to do is just while you're trying to hunt the monster, you just really want to pelt him with like tracking darts every single time. Like if you think you're putting enough, I'd say just put more, because I just want to be safe in terms of tracking the guy. I mean, I don't know if the particular darts stack too much, but I'd rather be safe and be able to see where the monster is than lose track of him. Unfortunately, I missed him right there. But yeah, just constantly pelting him with those tracking darts is great. Plus, it just puts more pressure on the monster, honestly, like, gives him less time to feed, less chance to gain armor because he knows he knows we're on his ass like all the time.
If this kind of creature is typical here, I understand why they needed us.
Oh, and I hate these things. They constantly give you like poison. I think, yeah, the environment is really random sometimes, but it's also just like hostile as shit. If you get a Megamouth, you're pretty much done. If you get any other monster, the other environmental monsters that can pounce you, it's just like it's really annoying. And if you die, it really sucks. In this case, I knew that there weren't that many monsters around this particular area, so I'm pretty much just ready to trap the monster, whatever. And the team's close again. The team's close enough to support me in that case I do get pounced, and so I'm glad I sort of stayed there. And yes, managed to get the mobile organ up and tracked, which isn't that useful, but considering he's at half health right now, pretty good. And so unfortunately I'm a target priority, so Hank is really great right now. He is shielding me like he is a shield god. You, good sir, are probably the best Hank I've seen so far. But see, like, I'm getting pelted on. He knows he wants to get rid of me because I think he knows he wants to get rid of me in order to get the dome down. But Hank is just really supportive, and I'm just annoying the crap out of him with all those stasis grenades, because that just really ties him down. And this particular support is really smart too, because as soon as he becomes a target priority for the monster, Hank just goes into stealth and just runs away. And me just annoying the crap out of him. And whenever I always like to say, I think the stasis grenades are definitely a priority over shooting, because there's always the assault that can damage them. But we pretty much unfortunately this monster is pretty much almost dead. The support's too good and the healings are just as good, and he can't really get anywhere. I think yeah, he's done over here. Or no, okay, that was weird. There was a glitch like that. But I mean, we did get it down to one fifth of his health, and he's only still level 1. It's gonna be even harder for him to try and evolve, especially when we're tracking him all the time. As a trapper, yeah, you really want to be safe if you try to do this, because there's just so much things that can happen to you just randomly. And especially if you need to trap the monster with the dome, you have to really like think ahead. Unfortunately, he was smart enough to not follow the circle, so he went back to the power generator. It's also good to know, I think it was great to actually know the height of the dome too, because if he's right above you in this case, then you can easily grab him, and I believe, yeah, I managed to grab him in this case. Ooh, I pelted on.
Who needs a shield? Switching to the track and dart.
And again, just tossing a crap ton of stasis grenades.
On first aid duty.
And I believe yeah, I mean, Markov's got his shield, he can't really do it. And, oh, he's being shielded by Hank, so he's good to go. Unfortunately, the monster has nowhere to run. This is pretty much like GG for him. So, yeah, he pretty much gives up. And that's game. That was really fun. I like this round, actually. I think this was a good example of how how the trappers should be played. But, obviously the trappers can be played differently, because you have like you have Maggie who just constantly puts traps, and you have Griffin who is a good who can launch harpoons at people.